Hey, how's it going, Nostalgics? It's Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor here, back again with another gaming video for you guys. And today's video, guys, is going to be a collaboration with about 3 different YouTubers whose clips that you're going to be seeing here very shortly on the subject of today's video, which is all of us discussing our favorite and least favorite games from the PlayStation 1. So I'll be starting off with my list of a favorite game of mine on the PS1 and then a least favorite game of mine. Then we'll jump into everybody else's clips as time goes on. However, for my segment of my favorite PS1 game, I would have normally picked a game such as like Crash Bandicoot or another game that I've grown up with on the PlayStation 1. But since there are so many other games that I've gotten from my personal collection recently that I haven't gotten around to playing, I would rather go with one that I've played recently that I enjoy, and that is, of course, Castlevania Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation 1. This game is, I've been playing it a lot recently over the past several days. I've been, exploring the castle, I've been taking out monsters, I've been doing everything you do in the Castlevania game, and oh my goodness, the game is just as amazing as I've heard about, as I've seen reviews on, as I've seen gameplay footage of. Everything is amazing about this game. It truly is, and this is just a great experience overall. I will go into more detail probably in a future Nostalgic Blast review, but let me just say this right now. This is by far my favorite PlayStation 1 game for its graphics, for its music, for its character, for the character models, for the amazing unique enemies they have in this game, for the vast array of weaponry and areas that you can explore that are secret. There's a lot to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and it is currently probably one of my favorite PS1 games of all time. Now, the thing is, for my least favorite PS1 games, I've played a lot of them. Now, the thing with me in the PS1 is, there's a lot of games that I've played that I just don't like, but I don't absolutely hate. But if I had to pick one that I don't like that much, it would be any racing game that I've ever played on the PS1, specifically any of the NASCAR PS1 games. And I have played a few of those. I've also played Gran Turismo on the PS1, and that game wasn't my favorite game either. Any of those racing games that I played when I was a kid, I'm just not into racing games. I'm not really into NASCAR in real life anyway, so really, I know it sounds more generic, but there's no real game I can think of right now that I absolutely despised on the system, but any racing game, especially ones like NASCAR, Gran Turismo, and the PS1, I just don't care for any of those games. Now, with my segment out of the way, let us jump into the different YouTubers who collabed with me on this video. And the first one up here is Jeff Johnson, aka GameOnGNT.
Hey everybody, Jeff Johnson here from GameOnGNT. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my favorite game for the PS1 and my least favorite game for the PS1. And by that, I mean games I don't like. So, let's get started with this. It's a tough choice for my favorite game for the PS1, simply because there were so many memorable games for that system to choose from. I'm thinking like games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or Metal Gear Solid, or Twisted Metal 3. The Twisted Metal franchise in general, everything about it was good. But if I had to choose one, my favorite game on the system, Final Fantasy Tactics. This game was amazing. It had everything you could want from a strategy RPG. It had everything you wanted from a Final Fantasy game. The job system was incredible. The characters were good. The story was good. The Zodiac characters were awesome. And it set the stage for Final Fantasy XII in later years. Now, if you want my least favorite game, or just let's not beat the bush here. If you want my least favorite game, or a game that I think is terrible for the PlayStation 1, you look no further than Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Okay, so the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, I've been a fan of the series for a long time. The TV series, the games that came out for it on every possible system under the sun, and also the card game. I collected the card game for years and years. So you think to yourself, I get some cards from this game, and I get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For the PlayStation 1. Where could things go wrong? Everything. The game is obscenely difficult. The cards do not match their rules. The fusion system is just horrendous and makes it impossible to play. And from what I understand of this game, I don't even think it's even got a satisfying story. I can't tell because I can't even get past, like, the second duel of the bloody game. So, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Forget this piece of junk. Leave it in the dust. Jeff Johnson, GameOnGNT. Glad to be here.
Next up on our PS1 collaboration is Got It Studios on his favorite and least favorite game on the system.
What's my favourite game on PlayStation 1? It has to be Alundra. I was a kid when I first played it, so the wow factor probably came from the cel-shaded cinematics like in this trailer. Alundra is an action-adventure game developed by Matrix Software for the PlayStation 1 and was published in Europe by Psygnosis. It was released in '97. I have watched the game being played a few times and need to replay it in my older age. The story is excellent and keeps you guessing. Gameplay and mechanics are also fun and interesting. As a matter of fact, Alundra makes me want to create games myself. It was hard to single out a PS1 game that could reign king. I was also going to go for Little Big Adventure, but decided Alundra was more deserving. Basically, Alundra is a young lad who has the ability to enter dreams. After shipwrecking on an island, he quickly finds a village known as Anoa. Anoa's people have been suffering from nightmares. Some of these bad dreams have even resulted in death. As the game gets further on, it gets darker, dealing with more adult issues like clinical depression, death, and even human existence. Alundra shines with a strong motive towards puzzle solving and platforming, as well as the action-adventure controls and themes. It has a pretty large map for its time, with a fair few dungeons. Dreams you enter provide their own challenges and shape based on the personality of the dreamer. Alundra received critical acclaim and some minor commercial success for its well-written story and characterisation. Among other things, almost everything Alundra did, it did right. You can grab Alundra and its sequel from the PS Store. So, what are you waiting for? Again, when I have to think about my worst game choice for the PlayStation 1, I also have to take into consideration the fact that I was so young when I owned a PlayStation 1, and it's been a long time since I've blown dust off these titles. For me, my worst game was Escape or Die Trying, better known as ODT. ODT was one of the most memorable games of my childhood. My dad would often tell me I need to use the bald guy with a hawk, but I was happy running around making make-believe. And you know, looking back on it, ODT was really fucking hard for a child under 6. It offers a lot of potential, and even though ODT is my worst game on the PS1, it still has lots of great features. Funnily enough, this game was hit hard by critics, and got a GameSpot score of 5.3. Escape or Die Trying had state-of-the-art animations and motion captures, over 40 unique enemy types, with their own weaknesses, in-depth characterisation and RPG elements, excellent platforming and puzzle solving sections, and combat was tense. You could say ODT deserves at least an 8. It's worth a mention, I didn't have a great variety of choice on the PlayStation 1 with games, but still had a few good ones to call my own. These two standalone Psygnosis titles reach out to my inner child strongly. I can't wait to bite the bullet and jump into ODT again. Now I'm older and I'm ready for it. Maybe you should take up the challenge too. The remakes of Crash 1 and 2 have shown me some of the toughies I was missing out on. I remember Crash 3. That game was pretty steady for smaller kids. But 1 and 2 are ruthlessly hardcore. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Tat. This has been my best and worst games of the PlayStation 1.
And finally, for the last YouTuber this part of this video is Carnage Wrecks on his favorite and least favorite PS1 games.
My favorite and least favorite PlayStation 1 games. Hands down, my favorite would have to be Spyro. I remember turning into a chicken. I was a little kid when PlayStation 1 came out, of course. Doing this interview is actually making me want to go out and get the game again, and a PlayStation 1. My second favorite was the Ford racing game, because I played that with my mom and stepdad, and we had a really fun time on there. We found like shortcuts, and it was a lot of fun. We played it almost every night for a good year or two, and that was just awesome. And my least favorite, and it's not because it's a bad game, it's because it scared me as a kid, and I actually should pick this one back up too, because I know that it was silly of me to be afraid of a game, but and that's Resident Evil. I remember watching my sisters and my friends play it, and I really liked the gameplay. It looked fun and scary, like you watch a horror movie or something. But I wouldn't really play it that much, because when I did, I got scared. But that's my least favorite of the three. Now, that's not saying it's a bad game or anything, but anyway, yeah, that's my top 3 games that I remember pretty vividly from my childhood. But yeah, anyway, thank you for doing the interview, and I hope you have a good day.
And that is going to do it for today's video, Nostalgics. I hope you guys enjoyed today's collaboration video, seeing me and some other various people from the community joining up for a PS1 video. Especially big thanks to GameOnGNT, Carnage, and GameOnGNT Studios for being on here. It was really great talking with all you guys. It was really great doing this collaboration with you. If you guys want to go check out any of their channels, which I do highly recommend, go check out any of their channel links in the description down below. Show these guys some support. They definitely deserve some for the content that they produce and the work that they put into every video they do. So go check them out in the description, guys, and give them a sub if you are interested in what they do. And with all that in mind, guys, hopefully once again you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big old like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you want to catch our future gaming video stuff coming your way. Last video for this week, I am planning on making a Crash Bandicoot Nostalgic Blast review, so look forward to that. And once again, also comment down below your thoughts and feelings on this video. So that, my Nostalgics, this has been Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor saying, keep on gaming.